Welcome to the Village podcast. I am your host, Nicole Trunfio. My why has always been to empower women and amplify the voices of mothers. We created the Village to share stories and ideas to embody the innate wisdom of a village, but on a modern day platform. I hope this podcast inspires, educates, and informs you and brings you the joy, love, and light you deserve. Welcome to the Village. We use red light therapy on our faces, but what about our breasts? Introducing Lasivo's Empower, the world's first customizable and hands-free red and near infrared light therapy breast care set. 96 high-performance LEDs deliver 2 clinically informed wavelengths, 660 nanometer red light that works at the skin surface, and 850 nanometer near infrared that penetrates deeper into the breast tissue. Scientifically backed, non-invasive, and drug-free to help with breast and nipple pain relief, soothing sore nipples, healthy lactation support, collagen and skin support, hormonal breast comfort, postpartum recovery support, and support for scars and the skin's natural healing. 3 smart modes, 3 intensity levels, 4 easy ways to wear. Just slip it into your bra and you're done. Built by mothers for mothers. Discover Lasivo Empower at Lasivo, LACEVO.com. Relief, repair, renew. Guys, I am so excited to welcome a really good friend of mine, somebody that I've wanted on the podcast for so long. She is so incredible and she's been sharing her story on Instagram. So vulnerable, so beautiful, so real, so raw, which I feel like is so brave and so courageous. And we need more people like her in this world. Meet my dear, dear friend, Vanessa Fitzgerald at V's Honey on Instagram.
What an introduction.
Welcome to the
Thanks, Nick. This is great.
I'm also like seeing her for the first time in a while and I just want to cuddle you.
I know.
You're too far away.
I know. It's been a few months.
Yeah. Well,
it was like 6 months, I think.
But I feel like every time I've seen you since you moved from Austin to LA, it's just a few times and far in between. It's never long enough.
No, it's not.
But she's so amazing. Can you tell the audience what you do? Because yes.
So I do something called nutrition response testing, and nutrition response testing is a form of muscle testing, if you've heard of that, which is like applied kinesiology, which is actually quite popular in Australia, funny enough. Nutrition response testing is a form of muscle testing, but it's a specific type where we work really closely with the autonomic nervous system. So the autonomic nervous system runs everything in your body. It tells you to walk, think, chew, go to sleep, wake up. It's comprised of your parasympathetic nervous system, rest, relaxation, and sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. Now, if your body's nervous system, which a lot of ours are not, is not operating properly due to stress or foods or environmental toxins or immune challenges, there's a whole list of different things that can be considered a stressor on the body. The nervous system sort of shuts down or starts creating channels that are blocked. So there's a lot of miscommunication going on in the body. So what we do is we get the nervous system settled. We find out what is bothering the nervous system. And then after that, we are testing the strength of each organs. So just like acupuncture works on meridian points, we run on organ points. So we are looking for a response, a muscle response in the body to a stressor in the organ, in all of your organ systems. And we're looking for the priority organ system. And then we find out what is bothering that priority organ system. And then we dial it back from there. So it's kind of like looking at your body like an onion. So every time I work with somebody, I'm working at peeling back the layers to the root cause of why their symptoms are happening. And I deal with everything chronic. So anything from autoimmune disorders to hormone imbalances, anxiety and depression is considered chronic. I work with pregnant women. I work with postpartum.
I was going to ask, can you?
Yeah,
and
totally.
Postpartum would be amazing.
Yeah, so I do I typically prefer to work with women before they conceive.
Yeah.
I don't love jumping in when in the middle of their pregnancy.
Why is that?
Because I didn't set their body up for this pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You kind of want a baseline of where they're at.
Totally. And now there's like 2 human bodies, right?
Yeah.
It's not just one. And so since I don't have a pre-established relationship with them, I'm not as comfortable to just, you know, go with what I think is necessary because I don't have that past relationship with them. And it's just dealing with 2 heartbeats is totally different than dealing with 1.
Wow. Okay. And you can't muscle test an embryo.
No, but we can once the baby's born.
Yeah, you do. You muscle test babies too.
Yeah, but we do when I'm, some people call me like a body clairvoyant. So when I'm talking to a body,
Yeah.
I'm also talking to the embryo, as in like, what does this fetus need for support, right?
Yeah.
Everything from, is the pleura in the lungs developing properly? Is the blood flow happening? Are all the neurons turning on? Like things like that. And so we want to help develop the fetus in the strongest, best possible way. So I am essentially talking to that fetus as well.
And how are you, like, what's the therapy after you identify an issue? Is it medicine, supplements?
Supplements. So it's all supplements.
Yeah.
It's we're heavily supplement practice. I also refer out to other modalities like anxiety and depression, right? So
Yeah.
I will test for various different therapeutic modalities, plant medicines. You know, I just look at
what about
whole
cranial sacral?
cranial sacral is great.
You love that, so you work in unison with.
Totally. I have a whole Rolodex, ones that are really good with babies and ones that are really good with adults.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And I love those of you that already follow Vanessa, but you shared your journey on Adderall, which became such a viral piece of information that was like shared around. And that was just so great. I feel like that was the first time that you just really, really opened up in a way and really like shared all of your learnings and your wisdom. And then watching you become a mother and sharing that for me was so powerful, because I feel like as women, we keep so much inside. And I feel like the reason we're doing this podcast is because I believe that we're so isolated. And I feel like a village, everyone, if we lived in kind of like the olden days where kind of everyone knew what was going on in everyone else's lives, then we would have so much more wisdom. But because we're so isolated to our own homes and we don't really share on that level with everybody, we lose that innate wisdom that should belong to us as a whole civilization.
100%. I mean, you were one of my greatest supports postpartum when I was in that part of like no sleep, losing my mind. I remember calling you while I was in the bath one night and you had a really long conversation with me to help me just talk me down off the ledge, which was so important. It's important to know that we have support. It's important to know that people have shared experiences too.
Yes. And it's such a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Right? The days.
It is.
So can you talk us through that? Like when did that kind of start for you? Was it before you decided? Because I know you were actually, what's really interesting, you and Ben reached out, her partner Ben reached out to a bunch of friends saying, do you recommend having babies?
Oh yeah, we did.
Do you think we should have kids?
Yeah.
And you actually surveyed a bunch of people that had kids.
We even did a spreadsheet on how much it would cost to have a baby in the first year.
Okay, tell me more. Tell me more. Like, how does that conversation even come up? How does that even happen?
So I think it's because, you know, my whole life, I just thought like that's what you do in life is like you get married and you have kids. And for the longest time, I didn't feel a sense of purpose. So I was desperately just trying to get every boyfriend I had to get engaged quickly and have children. That was my 20s. Like, what a waste of my 20s. But once I hit 30 and I started my business, I had more of a sense of purpose. So by the time I met Ben, he was the first boyfriend I had had where I was having so much fun, just like an unbelievable amount of fun, where I was really, truly just hanging out with my best friend. And it was so exciting and so thrilling that I couldn't imagine introducing anything into that dynamic that would mess with that dynamic.
Yeah.
So when Ben asked me, Ben's the one that asked me, he's like, when do you want to have children? I was like, I've always thought I wanted children, but now maybe that was for the wrong reasons, because now I'm questioning that because I love our relationship so much.
Yeah.
And Ben felt the same way. But, you know, when you take a step back and you realize like the honeymoon phase ends eventually, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want your life to look like further down the line? But also you want to enjoy the journey, right? I'm not just like living my life now for when I'm 50 years old, but I want to enjoy the day to day. So we really just wanted a clear picture and an honest survey from people of what that looked like so that we could draw our own conclusion. So we asked people that, you know, didn't love having kids, honestly, and most of the people who are obsessed with having their children.
Yeah.
Sure, and across the board, it was like, it's hard and every phase is different, but it is the most rewarding experience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just more love. You're just bringing more love into your dynamic.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I really want to talk to the people that are like, don't do it.
Right. Because honestly, I mean, as soon as I had that baby, I'm like, I can't believe I ever questioned this. Like, this is my greatest purpose in life. This is how can people that miss out on this, that's so sad. But I thought that way, right? After I had my baby, but then going through it and realizing just how each phase is so beautiful, but also brings so much challenge, and how I just traveled for my first time away from my baby for 3 nights, and just walking into the airport without the baby carrier and the doona and the bags. And I'm not like sweating by the time I get on the plane and my arms aren't breaking. I was like, this is a luxury.
Yeah.
You know, like how could I have ever complained about travel stress before this moment? So in that moment, I realized like, I understand people that decide not to have kids. It's not for everyone because it is hard work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of emotional work, physical work, financial work.
Yeah.
So while I think it's like one of the most beautiful, greatest purposes in life, I also fully back those that know themselves.
Yeah.
Because there are people that do have kids that probably shouldn't have had kids, you know?
Right.
So
Definitely.
I honor those that make the decision not to, because they know themselves and they know that that's not for them.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people are making that choice these days, and respect. I think it's so funny. Like, I want to talk to your friends that have kids that were like, don't do it.
I know.
I'm like, were they just like, was it just like, you know?
I think it's also has to do with like a partnership dynamic, right?
Right.
And how much have you worked on yourself? Because kids are mirrors, right? So they're going to bring up anything you haven't worked on or dealt with or faced with. As soon as that baby, you know, enters into the world and takes its first breath, all of your shit comes up. All of your partner shit comes up, and you have to face that.
Yeah, which is great because it's gross.
Yeah. It brings up this childhood stuff. If you haven't dealt with your own stuff, you start to resent your children or resent situations. It's not good.
Especially, when you're seeing yourself in that, and it's like, oh yeah.
That's one of like the blessings, I think, for me, deciding to have children older. Because if I had done this in my 20s, I would have been a completely different mom. And I'm not saying I've been horrible, but I would have not been great, you know? Yeah. And I think just because I've had such a crazy healing journey, that now that I'm older, I don't get, those things don't come up. I'm not faced with those things in motherhood. And if anything, I'm just faced with this affirmation of like, well done. You did the hard work and you are here, and now you get to reap the benefits of it. And now this little being gets to reap the benefits of your hard work, because she'll never have to suffer the way that you did.
Exactly. And you're kind of all of your hard work. Talk about some of the things that you think, and maybe it's personal to you, but you think people should like either embark on or even just like being in, what's the word? I want to say inquisitive, but that's not the right word. Inquire into like, what type of healing modalities do you think? Because I know you did ayahuasca, right?
Also the Hoffman process.
The Hoffman process, amazing. So after the Hoffman process, I would send my kids there.
Oh, totally.
Once they're 18. I think everyone should do that.
Totally.
It's so great. So what other things do you think are great for someone?
Think first, you have to like look at your life and realize that you are not the victim. And I think a lot of us just go around blaming our parents, blaming situations, blaming everything in our life for the things that are going wrong. Even blaming ourselves, right? It's about taking ownership and taking power back over your life and being like, okay, bad things have happened.
Yeah.
But now I'm in control. I'm an adult here. I'm the director and the producer and the star and the writer and the cameraman of my entire film. Like, what am I going to do with that? That's the first start, like figuring out why you're playing the victim and what are the stories you're telling yourself. Like, we have built these stories when we were young to protect ourselves, and they served us at one point. And thank you for those stories, because as a little vulnerable kid, we needed them to protect ourselves. But now we're an adult and there's nothing to be protected from. So we need to figure out what are those stories and unwind those stories. Be aware of those stories and realize, hey, those don't serve me anymore. So thank you, but you must go now, type of situation.
Yeah.
So finding a qualified therapist, now maybe it doesn't even look like a therapist, because a lot of like the best therapists I see these days are not classically trained therapists. They're more like spiritual counselors. They're doing the deep work. They're doing a lot of work on, like, a great book for everyone to read is A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle.
Love that book. Yeah.
It's all about the pain body. And if you can go deep on that, your inner child work, just like Hoffman, I think Hoffman's a great start. It's expensive, but also they take scholarships.
Yeah, they offer a lot of scholarships.
So I've had like 11 people off my Instagram get a scholarship.
Yeah.
Because I told them, like, again, you're not the victim because you don't have the money. You take responsibility. You apply. You become aggressive about it. All of these healing programs.
And Hoffman is great because I think 20% of the class, they leave that space. Like, they're waitlisted for months and months and months, but they leave 20% to scholarships.
Totally.
Like, that's a really big part because they want a mixed bag. They don't just want one level of.
No.
Yeah. And some of them are partial scholarships. Some of them are full scholarships. They really work with you, which I think is amazing.
Totally. So I think, like, you can find a program like that, right?
Yeah.
Sure, if you really want to go like the severe route and do plant medicine.
I've never done it before.
Which is like very intense.
You've done it twice.
I did ayahuasca twice, which is like
at Rhythmia.
Yeah.
So it's like a very monitored kind of experience.
Yeah, they're paramedics.
Moderated,
There's a medical center.
Yeah.
It's a very nice way to do ayahuasca. You're not like in the middle of the jungle. You are in the middle of the jungle, but you're also, you know, someone's cleaning out your bucket throughout the night. Like, you have a really nice white mattress to lay on. Like, you have really nice accommodations, gorgeous organic food. So if you're going to do ayahuasca,
do it there.
I mean, it's nice to be held in like a somewhat of a, it's not super luxury, but like somewhat of a luxurious feel is nice when you are literally going to war every single night.
Someone told me I was going through a really, really hard time, and I wanted to have kind of like a rebirth. And I booked Hoffman. I booked Hoffman like a year ago, but you can't go when you know somebody that's there. So one of my best friends had booked the same week as me.
Oh, no.
We'd booked it on the same day 3 months earlier, like minutes apart. And I was like, you take it, because I'm so busy with the kids and everything. And I was waiting to rebook it because I'd already paid for it. And then I ended up booking it. And of course, I ran into Chrissy Teigen there at mine. And I'm like, I can't know anyone.
That's
so I had like this full.
It's crazy they didn't catch that. But
yeah, I know. But I was like, obviously those things come up because they're meant to. It's like mirrors, things that you need to deal with. But she was so sweet and she's so amazing. And it was really, really fun in the end. But yeah, I went because I wanted to have a rebirth. And one of my friends said, you should do ayahuasca instead. And I was like, I'm not feeling called to do that yet in my life. Like, maybe I will in the future, but I just haven't. And she said to me, Hoffman heals the mind. Ayahuasca heals the heart and soul. Would you say that's true?
I would, but I also believe ayahuasca is a spirit, and you only do it if you're called. You never do it off of a recommendation from somebody else, because this is not, I don't believe it's for everyone.
Yeah.
I believe it's very important work. It's probably the hardest work you'll ever do in your life, but it's not for everyone. So you can't just go off a recommendation. You have to go off of that calling, and then you end up there. Yeah. And for sure, it's like a human exorcism. It is working on your soul.
Worse than bashing at Hoffman.
Oh my God. It is. This is like, I had a home birth, and this was I'd say this was way harder than my home birth. Like way, way, way harder.
Wow. That's a really big thing to say.
Just like sheer, like if emotional pain could kill you, this would be it. And you swear you're dying.
You did it twice.
Yeah. So you drink 4 nights in a row, and I went back 2 times.
You went back 2 times. Wait, on different.
Yeah. So you drink 4 nights in a row. So the first time I went, so it was like, it's a week-long process.
Yeah.
And then I went back a year later. And now I think I'm good.
You're
for
good?
A while.
Okay. You good. You seem
I think
great.
I'm good for a while now because it's
Did you
just
go
a
back
lot.
before Violet?
Yeah. So the second
Yeah.
time I went back was because I was making the final decision on whether I wanted to be a mother, and I wanted to deal with like my mother wound and all my wounding around feminine energy.
Okay. Amazing.
And then I had a girl, funny enough.
Yeah. And you had a home birth. Tell me about that.
It was wild.
Your decision. What about your decision there as well?
So, you know, I'd heard of home births for a long time, but it wasn't like a thing really anybody talked about. I think now it's becoming more and more popular, but there wasn't a ton of information on home births. So I always thought like, oh, it'd be so nice to give birth in a birthing wing in a hospital where there's like a tub and you can move around. Again, I knew nothing about birth until I was pregnant.
Yeah.
So I just thought I did. I was like, oh, you push the baby out. I didn't know anatomically what's happening. I had no idea. So I just thought, oh my God, a birthing wing would be great. They don't really have that in LA. They had a birthing center in Silver Lake that shut down. Then they had they have like a birthing center, I think, across the street from Cedars.
Yeah.
But I didn't even look into that because by the time it was my time to get pregnant, people had told me about some documentaries to watch. One of them being The Business of Being Born by Ricky Lake.
Yes.
So I said to Ben, I think it was like right before I found out I was pregnant, I was like, can we watch this film together?
Yeah.
So we sat down and watched this film together. And then afterwards, we were both like, why wouldn't you have a home birth? And by the way, the documentary is not necessarily totally biased. The girl in the documentary ends up having to go to the hospital and having a hospital birth. So it's not just like home birth is the only way and you must do home birth. But after learning it, and understanding more about the human body, I'm like, oh, well, why wouldn't I try for a home birth if also I have a hospital backup? Yeah. So I assembled a team that just made me feel so supported.
Mm-hmm.
My doula, her name's Nina Fellon, for anyone who is in the Los Angeles area. I think she also does her hypnobirthing courses. She specializes in hypnobirthing. Yeah. She does courses, I believe, online and in person. But if she's your doula, she does it one-on-one. And I learned so much about her. I learned what's happening in the body exactly. Yeah. What is dictating the hormones that are flooding through your body and how important it is to keep your mind in the game and keep your mind calm and to keep to really, it's all about the autonomic nervous system. And it made sense to me because that's what I do for a living. Yeah. So most of the time when something goes wrong at a home birth, I'm not talking about like a uterus prolapsing. Yes, that can happen. Yeah. And they hold the uterus and you go to the hospital. But having to be rushed to the hospital, it's actually a very slim chance of having to do that. It's usually typically when the mom panics, blood pressure rises, oxytocin shuts, and then that's when the baby's heart rate drops. And then you've got a whole cascade of issues. So if you can get to the point where there's no panic, you understand my body knows what to do. The baby will come when it's coming. I'm working with the baby. The baby chooses how it wants to come in as well. So every child chooses how they want to enter the world, and you kind of have to work with that child. So I used to talk to my belly prior, I want to have a successful home birth. I really want to do this together. Can we do this together? And we're working with each other, and I'm going to listen to you and you're going to listen to me and that type of thing. Yeah. So that we could work together to have this successful home birth. But I think that once I understood what was happening in the body, once I understood every possible scenario that could go wrong to the best of my knowledge, right? Except for the 1% or the 5% of the population. I felt really comfortable going into the home birth. Yeah. Well, I feel like that's the most important thing. It's where do you feel the safest and where do you feel the most comfortable?
I want to tell you about the multi-award-winning Lecevo S70 in-bra breast pump. Lecevo combines hospital-grade suction, smart wearable technology while being discreet and beautifully designed. It's not just trusted by mums, it's the first and only wearable pump endorsed by the Australian Breastfeeding Association. The S70 has a unique curved design with a longer tunnel to emulate a baby's deeper latch and 6 size options for optimal comfort and output, while a smart fill sensor alerts you as milk reaches capacity. You can control your pump via the smart app or directly on the device, and you'll have access to Lacebo's in-house lactation consultancy when you need it most. Built by mothers for mothers. Discover Lacevo S70 in-bra breast pump at lacevo.com.
I would not suggest a home birth to somebody who's like, that sounds dangerous. You know what I mean? Like, because your body won't. I believe every woman should birth should have the freedom to birth how they want.
Exactly.
Period. If they want to schedule C-section, go for it. If they want to birth in a hospital, great. If they want to birth at home, great. It's up to you.
I agree with that. I'm not like pro or anti anything. It's just where you feel the best, because again, it's about your nervous system. It's like what animals do, they go where they feel the safest to give birth. We did a podcast with Dr. Berlin, and he really talks about that. Even falling pregnant, it's like, where do you feel the most at home and the happiest? And you know,
I worked a lot with
Berlin.
He worked a lot with me because I had terrible sciatica. But honestly, the most effective treatment I did with him was he does this cranial sacral energy chakra. I don't even know what it is, right? Which you would never assume looking at this man.
Yeah.
And he told me exactly what my daughter was going to be like her personality, and that I was going to have a easy home birth. And he was right. I had an easy home birth, and he nailed her personality.
Wow.
He gave me 3 adjectives, and it was like exactly who she is.
Yeah. He's like an oracle that just like brings babies into the world.
Yeah.
He's wild.
Yeah.
And he doesn't recognize faces.
Yeah. He has like face blindness.
Yeah. He recognizes you by your name.
He also flipped my friend's baby at 39 weeks.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
He gave me an exercise to flip mine, where you go upside down on a couch. Like you have to really go vertical all the way, like as much as you can. And then you stand up really quickly.
Oh my God.
And you do it like 3 times, because it like kind of like lets the baby drop down. And then when you stand up, it kind of helps them to flip.
Wow.
And it worked for me.
Wow.
But I didn't do a manual turn or anything like that. That stuff scares me a bit.
Yeah, he did a manual turn with her on a table that was like,
wow.
But on the belly, turning on the belly.
Yeah.
And the baby turned.
He's a magician.
I know.
He's a doula / chiropractor.
It's crazy. It's actually crazy.
He's wild. And he actually had, on our podcast, he talks about his infertility journey with him and his wife when they were really young. They just straight out of college, couldn't get pregnant.
Crazy.
They tried everything. They tried IVF. And then as soon as he's like, we moved to San Francisco or something and started riding bicycles, we gave up. And then 1 baby, 2 baby, 3 baby, 4 baby, 5 baby. I just feel like sometimes, like obviously not all the time, but that's such it's the stress. There's a lot of stress in our life,
stress is the biggest killer.
It causes so many issues. So, so home birth, dream home birth. How many hours were you in labor? Any tear, nothing?
No tearing, but I trained for this thing very hard. I trained.
In what way? You were working out like crazy.
I was working out like crazy, but again, listening to like no pelvic floor exercises whatsoever, no ab exercises whatsoever, which was hard because I developed sciatica because I wasn't working on tightening my core at all. I wouldn't engage my core. And because of that, I messed my back up. I'm going to do a different type of exercise the second time around. Yeah. But that was the only issue. But because I didn't have a tight pelvic floor, I had a woman come to my house weekly and go intervaginally and stretch me.
Yes. With oils?
With oils.
Yeah.
I used
what kind of oils?
I'm not sure. She just had her own thing. I just like laid there. I was like, so how was your day? And then I used something
we do.
I flew to Lisbon on my baby moon to get something called the Epino, which is only available in Europe.
Okay.
And it's like a balloon you pump and you blow up inside of your vagina, and then you have to birth the balloon.
Wow.
With oil. It starts to stretch you. Also gives you the simulation of labor.
So it's a therapy, or do you buy it there and you can bring it home?
You buy it there and you can bring it home. Like London.
So you
it's only
flew
legal in
to
Europe.
to get it. So
Well, I
they
was already
won't sell
going
it.
there my baby moon.
Okay.
So we had a friend buy it for us.
Yeah.
And then we picked it up at their house.
And did Ben do this for you? Like,
yeah. Because our midwife, our doula were like, the epi-no is good.
Okay.
Because I had heard about it from another friend who didn't tear.
Yeah.
So I did that.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's a balloon. So you pump it up and then you birth it.
Yeah, and it has like a pump with a gauge.
Yeah.
So you can see how far the pressure is going.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds
and
like
you do it with
makes
with
total
an oil.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then birthing the balloon. I remember I birthed the balloon once and I was like screaming because I was like, and then I was like, I can't do this. I can't give birth because I was just like, this is so painful, right? But like nothing, by the way, compared to birth.
Yeah.
It was just like, and so I was like, I actually, after a few rounds of the epi-no, I had to stop because it was messing with my mental preparation for the fact that like I can do this. Because I was in labor for 27 hours total.
Wow.
5 hours were active labor.
Yeah.
And I had an hour and 10 minutes of pushing. But so I was in early labor for so long, but like intense early labor, I was still breathing, but I wasn't sleeping. So I was having contractions like pretty regularly, but I was able to breathe through them. So I wasn't I was at 0 station though. So like I worked really hard though on my cervix, like starting at 36 weeks, evening primrose suppositories.
Wow.
Dates, this thing called gentle birth tincture. I was doing a lot of stairs.
Yeah.
So my cervix was already ready to go, but the baby wasn't. I wasn't dilated or anything. So the baby wasn't quite ready for active labor. So at a certain point after my doula had come to my house in the middle of the night at 8 a.m., she's like, listen, you're still in early labor. You know, I would just rest. This could go on for days. I was like, days? I was like, absolutely not. No way.
Yeah.
I was like, there has to be something I can do. Can I go work out? And she's like, no, you can't work out because I need you to save your energy.
Yeah.
I was like, please, I can't go on like this for days. She's like, okay, well, there's this acupuncturist in Santa Monica.
Wow. But have you heard about the salad?
I heard there's like a salad in the valley. People eat the salad.
I did it. It worked.
No way. It worked.
The spicy salad. It's from a random pizza shop.
Yes. I've heard by the way, I think my OB told me about this salad.
Yeah. It's like a thing.
My OB, she knows the craziest tricks. She's like a home birth OB, but she was the one that told me about this acupuncturist. And so I called for an emergency appointment. I was in there 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And like literally in labor in the waiting room while like this woman was trying to like, is this your first baby? And I'm like,
you're like, yeah.
I'm like sweating and I get on. And I had to lay on the table. I mean, it was slightly elevated, but I was like pretty flat. I was so uncomfortable. And I was there for 2 hours. And afterwards, it was like off to the races. I was in full active labor.
Amazing.
She pushed me right into active labor.
Yeah.
And
did your midwife or your doula, did they give you any other ones? Like I've heard castor oil. I've heard
that's only
a lot of sex, a lot of stimulation.
Well, castor oil is only like if you need, it's seen as, oh my God, why am I blanking? What's the P word when you need to get Pitocin?
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like if that's what they look at it. So like
when you're not in a labor at all.
Yeah. So like at 42 weeks,
yes,
you know,
to get things going.
41 and a half weeks, you want to drink the castor oil.
Yeah. It's that, it's walking on up hills, curbs. There's something else that they say to do as well. I can't think of it right now. Maybe an essential oil, clary sage. Have you heard of that?
I got the clary sage. I was like clary saging myself to death.
I did all that. It didn't work.
I'm like, me neither. I was
but then when I did the salad, it was like, okay. And then a trip to Disneyland.
No way. Oh my God, Disneyland's so far. We get stuck there. I can't. just give birth at Disneyland? I can't. The Disneyland hospital? No. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so and then I ended up in active labor, and then that was nuts. That was wild. And then the pushing though to me was like insane. I know everybody says it's different. People like the contractions were way more painful for me than the pushing. For me, pushing was the top. Wow.
Really?
Just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I've never felt anything like that in my entire life.
Like the burning ring of fire or whatever they call it.
It was more than that. It just feels like your butthole is going to tear open. And your whole body is going to split into two. And when my butthole was tearing open, I screamed. I was like, my butthole's ripping open. And my OB goes, Vanessa, I promise you the baby's not coming out of your butt. I was like, and I remember I was like, oh my God, like Vanessa, you can't clench your butthole. This baby's never going to come out. You have to relax because you're supposed to push towards your butt. And I'm like, okay, I'm just really going to let go of my butt. And I was like, I did it. And the baby would start to move.
Yeah.
But it would come down and come back up and then come down and come back up. I'm like, what? Get the baby to stay down. Like, and so I was like leaning on the side of the tub and the OB had me flip and she's like, I'll help you. So basically every time I would push, she would take her finger between the baby's head and the labia to help stretch me so the baby's head could come down a little bit more. But I didn't tear.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
She's also 6 pounds, 8 ounces. So it's not like I was like shooting out a 10-pound baby, you know?
Yeah. I wonder if the water, because you're in water, I wonder if the water was pushing her back up.
Yeah, you would think. It actually just slows down. It slows down labor if you're not 9 centimeters dilated. But otherwise, it should
not
be
pushing
fine.
it back up from the inside, but just like the buoyancy. I don't know.
Could be.
I don't
know. My girlfriend had 2nd-degree tear. Same team as me in the tub.
Yeah.
But she wasn't doing all the. I was nuts.
I had a home birth, my first home birth in water, but it was freezing cold. So
I remember you were telling me.
My nervous system was like,
you were like yelling at everyone, and they're like, "You're fine. I'm like, you got this."
Yeah, it's cool, babe. I'm like, I don't think it's.
I don't think it's cool. No, it's crazy.
Not to me.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Not. Wow. And then you guys just blissed out for how long was your bubble? Do you think? Did you have a postpartum Ayurvedic doula?
Yeah, we had a postpartum doula.
Yeah. What was your postpartum routine?
My postpartum routine was feeding the baby every couple hours during the night.
Pumping as well, or no?
Not at night, during the day.
Yeah.
So after every feed, I would pump during the day because I was having trouble with getting my production up at first and getting the baby to latch. So I pumped after every feed.
Did you check for a tongue tie, lip tie?
She did. She had both.
She had both. Did you release it?
Yeah. So at 8 weeks we did.
Did you release it with a laser or did you snip it?
Laser.
Yeah, we
both
did too.
Both times laser.
Yeah.
And honestly, best thing ever.
Best thing ever.
Yeah.
Like I could not breastfeed. My nipples were like literally scabs. And I would, when my baby would latch, I'd go like this and I would kick and it was just like the most painful thing. I was like I don't know. For me, that was like so painful. And then we discovered that the tongue tie, lip tie, which I don't think people are really looking for. I mean, at the time, no. And they said at the time, my doula said they're saying that they're seeing it happen a lot now, and they're saying that maybe it's because of too much folic acid in the supplements.
That's what I heard.
That's what you heard too.
Because what I don't understand is like, why now? Is it that we didn't know before, and there are a bunch of adults running around with their tongues and their lips tied? You know, or is it that there's something going on where we're creating this?
I know. I feel like we need to learn more about this topic. Like I'm so curious about it because as soon as my husband took my baby to the pediatric dentist to get it released, he was like, I can't do it to him. I'm not doing it. And I was like, okay, because
why?
I'm really tough, but I couldn't do that anymore. I'd have to stop breastfeeding for sure. I had 3 different lactation consultants come over. My sister was like, breastfeeding should not be painful. No. If it's painful, something's wrong. My sister's, she does intensive care for babies. So she's around a lot. And I was like, okay. And this is Australian opinion versus American, my first time doing this. And then I said, okay. And then he didn't come home for a while. And then he came home and he was like, I did it. He's like, I heard your voice say like, okay, when I told you I wasn't doing it. And so I took myself back to do it. When he latched on immediately after, because breast milk's good for the healing, I didn't feel anything.
It was night and day, yeah.
I didn't feel any pain.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I didn't experience the pain. She
God.
just wouldn't latch.
Yeah, right. It's
crazy.
Yeah, I felt like I was trying to like stuff the baby to it.
Totally. I felt like I was torturing her.
Yes.
I'm like, what is happening?
And myself at the same time. Crazy. So that's like a real thing. So I hope that people can really like dive into research there. And
a lot of people honestly were DMing me on Instagram going like, you should check for tongue tie, lip tie.
That's great.
But I was rolling my eyes at the time because I'm like, this is just some trendy thing. Everybody has a tongue tie, lip tie. So I actually dragged my feet for a while until my postpartum doula was like, you need to take her to get her her tongue and lip tie. She's like, stuck her finger in there. She's like, it's tight.
Yeah, I wonder why. And then, yeah, because my husband was like, I don't want my son to have a lisp because of it.
Yeah, no.
And so, okay, so after that, so when did you start feeling like, how did you feel at that time? Because I remember you went through a really hard time, and when did that start? And how did you kind of identify it?
So my hard time started around like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
6, 7 weeks. I think that the sleep deprivation just hit me, and I
Yes.
identified it by, I woke up one morning and I started crying. I couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
And it just happened, like 5 hours went by, I was still crying.
Mm.
So my postpartum doula was supposed to take her break, and she didn't. She pushed it off because Ben was traveling, and she took care of the baby while I like tried to pull myself together. Thank God I also specialize in postpartum, that I
Yeah.
was able to get my mind right within 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But
How did you do that?
through various homeopathic tinctures and
Yeah.
supplements to help support my mood. But then I would have some hard nights, and yes, my hormones were still raging, but
Mhm.
those nights were also me grieving because Ben was having a hard time becoming a father. And I think that was like built up resentment
Yeah.
coming out, and like navigating a whole new dynamic in our relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and just grieving an expectation that I had that wasn't being met.
Yeah.
And so I would have these breakdowns over that. I think if Ben had a really easy postpartum, I would have had a much easier postpartum.
Yeah.
And so we talk about all the time, like, how are we going to set ourselves up for another baby, for Ben to have an easier time postpartum,
Yeah.
which would mean probably sleeping in separate rooms so he can actually sleep.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in both of us being sleep deprived.
How does it show up for him having a hard time postpartum?
Well, sleep is also really important to him. So we're sleeping in
Yeah.
the same bed. So it doesn't matter, even with eye mask and earplugs, he's not like a heavy sleeper. He's a hard time sleeping. So he would
Yeah.
wake up every single time. So on that sleep deprivation, he would have to like get up and go to work. He did, by the way, he was amazing at first. He was cooking for me. He was doing all of these things, but
Yeah.
realizing that like his life was governed, like, you need to come home to help me. Like, the baby's crying. You need to help me figure it out. You know, we have diapers. We have someone else living in our house now, the
Yeah.
doula. Like, his whole life got rocked. He was like, where's my freedom? Where's my life?
Yeah.
This feels dark. This feels dismal,
Yeah.
you know, and he was just, the cost of everything at first was a shock.
Yeah.
But I think all men have, there's a rite of passage when you first become a father.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't look the same for everyone. Some men completely disassociate and they withdraw and they sort of become distant. Some men become depressed. Some men, you know, start to drink too much, or some men start to make jokes all the time. Like, there's always some sort of
like a coping mechanism.
process when
Mhm.
when men become fathers, and we don't honor that because a lot of society is like, well, we pushed out the baby, and like, yes, like, I am woman, hear me roar, but also like, men don't know that experience. They never will. We can't fault them for that. They're not designed to know that experience.
Yeah.
But they do have their own experience. And I think the more we support them, the better our life's going to be, rather than chastising them. And
Yeah.
that was like a hard line that I had to walk, the line between being really angry with him and being really empathetic.
Yeah. It's a really interesting topic, because I have this like inner theory that is kind of crazy, but like it kind of is, it really like leads into this, why we do this podcast. It's like the way we live, we're so isolated. Women, we're so isolated. Like at Bumpsuit, we're trying to empower and amplify the voices of mothers and unite women and create camaraderie and build this like network and these resources for our community. Like, we're so community focused. Because I really want women to feel like they can relate and they're not alone.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also think about men, and I think about like in ancient times where women just would like all live together, and there would be like the admin men or like the protectors of the village. But most of the alpha men would go out and hunt together.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I look at my husband and I'm like, okay, he's an alpha man. He's going out to hunt, like going to work to provide for the family.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing it alone. So like everything is on him to provide for our family. Whereas like back in ancient times, men would go together to hunt and they'd bring back the kill together. And I'm like, wanting to unite women and to help us feel connected. And it takes a village to raise one. Like, you know, having nannies is a modern day form and obviously a paid form of that support in that village. But before it was just like friends and neighbors and it still can be. Like I've kind of, now that my kids are older, I've created this like village of help and other moms at school. But what do men have to help them feel supported?
They don't, because also not a lot of men share their feelings. I'm lucky because mine does. He has a group. So basically I gave him an ultimatum. I was like, you need to figure this out. Like I hit a wall and I was like, grow the fuck up. You're a dad now. Be a man and figure it out. So he threw himself into therapy. Yeah. And then he created a dad's group, a dad support group.
Great.
And they meet.
How do our dads find that if they want to?
I know, right? I wish it was like
it's not a public one.
No, okay. It's a group of 5 men.
Well, start your own, dads.
Yeah, start your own. Honestly, it's a group of 5 men, all with kids, like babies the same age, a few months apart. Yeah. And they meet at like some cool like a hotel restaurant or like, you know, a cool place that they feel like there's this great, I'm not going to say what it is on here, but there's this great hotel here with a gorgeous lobby / restaurant where you can like hang out. So like it's also their like escape outside of the house and outside of work. Yeah. And so they sit there and they just talk about what's going on. They talk about their wives. They talk about, and everything stays confidential. Yeah. Like Ben has never shared with me what goes on there. Yeah. Other than like everything goes on there. Like they share everything and that's their safe space.
That's great. Yeah. I love that. I hope that's inspiration for anyone listening to this. Yeah. And men need to have that support too. I like even having a son, birthing a son. And it's so funny because I had an ultrasound and in the ultrasound, my doctor was like, oh, he has an erection. And I was like, what? I was like,
Really?
already? I mean, it was so long ago. I just remember him saying this, but I don't know if it was a joke or if it was because it was floating or what. I remember him saying I didn't think to ask more questions, but in the moment I thought, I was like, men are just wired different. Like it's not, you know, they're just wired different. And I also thought, I am birthing a son, and just in society, there's so much pressure on men just for being a male that they are going to have to provide one day. They're going to have to carry the weight of a family. And obviously modern times, it's evolved so much, and women, we do so
now
much.
That
and
we
we're the
can do
breadwinners.
everything now.
Yes, now we do all of it.
So highest suicide rates are actually in men now. And there's a great book that I think everyone should read of Boys and Men. And there's a great guy, Scott Galloway, who really champions the support of young boys because they're isolating. They're getting these artificial intelligent like girlfriends. They live online. Like they don't, they can't get a job. They can't get a date. Women are like outmanning the man. It's just like, it's getting really bleak for men. Yeah. And we need to learn how to support them. Like I saw this girl, I mean, I get it. Her whole like Instagram is like about being a bitch, but she did this whole reel that was attacking men, like male influencers. And to me, I thought, God, that is like this woman is what's wrong with society. Like attacking a guy who's just doing what he can to make money. And by the way, probably making millions of dollars. Who knows? Like a travel male influence. I have no idea. Yeah. But to castrate them like that, that's what's wrong with society. Like, why are we putting men down and then going, where are the men? Yeah. You know, we're creating this problem. Yeah. Yeah. I love a good man. Yeah. Yeah. Love a good man with a bit of muscle. And then you look at things like the manosphere, which is really scary.
Like, protect me.
Yeah.
I need protecting.
And then there's like the manosphere where it's like this whole thing about men dedicating to absolutely hating women.
Toxic masculinity.
And it's really scary, actually. It's actually scary stuff that they say. And again, let's not feed that. Right. Let's support the men. You know, obviously these men, their moms really hurt them if they hate women that much. It's very sad.
Hurt people.
Totally.
That's what I tell my kids when someone's mean to them at school. I'm like, oh, that poor person. They must be hurting.
It's smart.
Yeah. It's such a different philosophy. I feel like, it's just really interesting because I feel like our algorithms are also kind of like swaying culture. And I feel like everyone should be respected and be allowed to be themselves. And like, why all this judgment? You know, it's just like, I love men, I love women. There's
Right.
yin and yang in this world for a reason. Like we both need each other.
Yeah. Also,
Let's
all the
lift
mom
each other
content
up.
of moms judging and hating on other moms. I can't do that anymore either.
Yeah. Well, we don't do that here.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I love this conversation. I feel like this is going to be so great for everyone. And I haven't even used my cards with our new branding on it. Do you like it?
I do. I like it a lot. It looks very professional.
It's our new logo. Is it? It's 7:05. Okay, cool. I'm going to do rapid fire. Let me just make sure because I feel like we have gotten through. Okay. I love this conversation. Love, 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 love. I want it to go on forever. I'm going to do a rapid fire with you.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give to someone that's trying to fall pregnant?
To be informed, but relax and trust the process. I think knowledge is powerful, but fear is detrimental. So when you end up charting everything, becoming obsessed with numbers, temperatures, things like that, that anxiety every month creates a block in the enjoyment of like, I'm going to enjoy sex with my partner and bring a baby in.
Yeah.
I think getting those ovulation pee sticks, fantastic. And honestly, just pee on them throughout the month because you sometimes ovulate a lot earlier or later than you think that you do. Not everyone is textbook. We don't all follow the same rhythm.
Yeah.
Even though all these period apps and fertility apps want to make us think that we do, and then they make us feel bad when we don't.
Yeah.
So just get all ovulation sticks, have sex every other day.
Sounds amazing.
I think like that's while you're trying to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Read the book Spirit Babies.
Okay.
Connect with the soul of the baby that's meant for you.
I read a good one, Voices from the Womb, similar thing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process, eat healthy, exercise, take the toxin load out of your life. Like you don't have to become Bubble Boy, but just like remove the Windex and the Tide from your house. You know? There are simple,
use essential oils.
There are easy swaps for things.
Yes. And
I
so
think
good.
that's really good when you're trying to conceive.
I love it. Best thing you purchased for maternity?
Best thing I purchased for maternity. Like postpartum?
No, maternity. Like when you're pregnant, what's a good?
Oh, a bump suit. Yeah. Like what else was I wearing? I actually went to my girlfriend's house and I borrowed all her bump suit. I actually have to call her again because I don't even know if you make those anymore. And I like her.
Why
bump
do you have
suits.
to call her again?
Because I gave them back to her. So they're like, it's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants. She gave them to another girl who's pregnant.
What's happening?
I don't know if you make these dresses anymore.
But
it's old.
Are you having another baby?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what? You
yeah,
are?
Yeah. 8
What?
weeks. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
So I'm going to be back in bump suit
so you need
very
a lot
soon.
of bump suits. Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
very
that.
excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love. We got so much cute new stuff too.
I'm
It's
really
even better than ever.
I'm excited.
Best thing you bought in postpartum?
Best thing I bought postpartum.
Like what is a postpartum hack? Well, you need the goods. You didn't have that because we didn't have it launched yet.
Yeah.
The goods is our postpartum kit, but best thing you used during postpartum?
I mean, I lived on my pump, but also
breast pump. What
yeah,
breast pump do you like?
just the Spectra.
Yeah.
Was
Is
the
it
best
like
one
one of
for
those
me.
wireless ones that went around when I was?
No, because I tried the wireless one and it sucked nothing out.
Okay. Got you.
But I had a friend who said that I have to test a few out. But then honestly, I think the biggest hack was my mom wanted to buy me this bottle washer. And I was like, I don't want big contraptions. Like, this is stupid. I don't need all these contraptions in my house. The Pro Baby Brezza bottle washer.
Yeah.
You save all your time. You save all the headache. You just put it in. It washes it. It sanitizes it and it dries it.
Yeah.
That was like one of my favorite things.
Because washing a bottle with a brush and trying to wipe it out.
And if you are like me, I just stopped breastfeeding like a week ago.
Wow. You made it because Violet's 1 year, almost one.
Yeah.
Right?
So just a couple weeks shy of one.
Yeah. That's amazing.
So I'm proud of myself for that.
You should be.
But I was doing at first when she was having trouble latching, I was using bottles. So sometimes if you're lucky and your baby just latches, you don't need a bottle. Fantastic. But also I am a fan of some bottles because then it gives the husband a chance to feed the baby.
Bonding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. And then best thing for baby, like what are your nursery must-haves?
Nursery must-haves. I love the magnetic me onesies because in the middle of the night, it's so quick. You don't have to like zip or unbutton. It's just magnets.
Okay. Never had those.
Those are great.
Great.
It's so easy. I have this thing called an egg light, and you can tap it and you can make it red light or like a low amber light. So in the middle of the night, you're not like turning on a lamp or like emitting this like harsh light.
Yeah. Does
And
it also make sound? White noise as well?
It doesn't. This one doesn't make white noise.
Yeah.
I had a white noise machine, but then I did sleep training, which I also know is very controversial. But my sleep trainer had me cut the white noise.
Yeah.
So I'd choose no white noise.
Yeah.
Only when we travel, because I can't control the environment that she's in.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What about someone who's struggling with sleep regression?
Sleep regression. It all depends on like what your choice of sleeping is. Are you co-sleeping? Are you not co-sleeping?
That's such a loaded question. Don't answer that.
Yeah.
Especially because I just heard something about like it's illegal to let babies cry out somewhere in Europe now.
No, there's this thing going around about how like in Denmark, it's like
Denmark.
No.
It's not true?
It's not true. This is all like AI fabricated whatever stuff. It's not about that. And by the way, like what people think cry it out is not crying it out. Like you're not like leaving a baby all night to like scream and cry. Like they vilify it. That it creates no issue with attachment.
Yeah. My pediatrician told me to sleep train. This is from a doctor. So he was like, you don't do it because it's really hard for moms to do that. Like when you hear your baby crying, you're just like, alert. Have your husband do it and do every 10 minutes and it will take 2 nights.
By the way, I have the happiest, most independent little baby.
Yeah.
And we did sleep training and she's a great sleeper, but does she regress? For sure she regresses. And right now it's the worst because she like pulls herself up and she can say mama and that like even kills me even more.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just wait. I count 10 minutes and she usually goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it is the frustration.
Wait until they learn how to escape the crib.
Yeah, right. But there's a frustration. Imagine how frustrating it is. Like I'm frustrated when I wake up in the middle of the night and I can't go back to sleep. I'm mad about it. I'm like, oh, I'm tossing and turning. I'm punching my pillow. Babies are expressing themselves. They're like, I woke up, I'm pissed about this. And they need to figure out how to get back to sleep by themselves.
Right.
Because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And so they do. I'm not saying you torture your kid for a long time, but birth regressions, I have to do it again. You know, like last night, not a peep, right?
Yeah.
But like a week ago, there was a string where she was like up in the middle of the night several times.
Yeah.
A few times I went in because she actually started pooping in the middle of the night, which was like the worst thing ever. She stopped doing that. And then now she's not doing it anymore. Yeah. Because I would start to wait that 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that worked. I only did that for one of my babies, I think. We were in different, seasons of our life. So we were traveling, touring, doing this, that. Just got to do what works for you in that moment. And sleep training didn't work for us on our first.
No, if you want to co-sleep. Like,
yeah.
It's up to
it's kind of what makes you feel like your intuition's like
100%.
a mother's intuition knows best. Someone who's looking for their mum village.
I think moms groups are great. Yeah. In your local area. You're not going to like every mom there or bond with every mom there, but you will find one or two classes. Any mommy and me class, mommy and me exercise. I always like, there's always classes in parks for music, at least in Los Angeles. Yeah. And when you go, you can go with your like newborn. It's just music being played and a bunch of kids around, but then you get to interact with some of the moms are there. Yes, sometimes it's nannies, but there are moms, and then the moms introduce you to other moms. Like for me, my mom village came from, because I had a bunch of friends who were already moms, but their kids are older. Yeah. So I had like a friend in Austin introduce me to her friend here. Yeah. That lives near me, and she gave birth 2 months before me. Great. Now we're like best friends. Yeah. And then my neighbor I was introduced to on the street. And now we're super close. I was just swimming in her house today with my baby. And our babies are a few months apart. Yeah. So you just start to like, and then you meet people through those people and you start going to more classes. Like,
you need them.
Get out of the house. Yeah. It's like the biggest advice I would
we do our walk is just to unite people that are at the same stage, because you need your village. It's so important. And Yeah, we need to do more of those.
Yeah, I think it's important. I get DMs from some women. It's really sad. They feel really isolated, but they live in really small towns. Or some people are just dealing with postpartum anxiety where they don't want to leave the house, which I'm always like, you need to go to therapy for that or something, or you know, get supplement support or even medication if you're having that bad a fear.
I feel like as well, baby carrying is so good. Like I know you baby carry a lot, and that's something like I didn't do a lot because it wasn't like Autopop didn't have their carry yet. They had the wrap, and I just can't do the wrap. It's just too time consuming. But yeah, they had theirs, you know, and I started wearing that, and I just wish that's why we made a baby carrier at Bump Sooks. We kind of like cured all the problems of baby carriers out there. But I feel like that is, you have some autonomy. It's like I'm hands-free.
Oh, totally.
And I'm walking, and then you have that bonding with your baby as well. And there's something so incredible about baby wearing and like good for your mental health and being in nature.
Well, that's how I hike. Like hiking is really important to me, and it always has been. And I've been hiking with her since she was 3 months old in the baby carriers.
Yes.
And she'll sleep on it. And then when she wakes up, like, well, now that she's older, I face her out so she can see the nature and she gets excited. And when she's overwhelmed, I turn her back around.
Yeah.
But I tried the hiking backpack, and honestly, it's like, it's very heavy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's very
looking.
heavy, and it's not, my baby's a tummy sleeper.
Yeah.
So she doesn't really like to fall asleep in the backpack. But she can fall asleep if she's on my chest because it gives her the same pressure as the pressure on the tummy. So
yeah, that's so awesome. I love it. I feel like you have like so many of our carriers too. I love seeing you wear them.
Man, I love them.
You're like, you look
the new
so
mesh
good in
carrier
them.
hiking is
the new mesh one. I don't know if it'll be out, but yeah, Vanessa tested our new mesh one in Japan.
It's called Tofino. It's in Canada. It's like
you're in
this like fairyland.
Fairyland. It looked amazing.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, those are coming soon. So anyway, thank you so much
for having me.
On the podcast.
It's so fun.
I'm really excited for this episode. I feel like people are going to love it, and there's lots of good info in here for people that are thinking about having kids, on their way already, or have had some. And yeah, also your practice is in LA. So if you want to find Vanessa at V's Honey, and she's also practicing in LA, which is amazing. Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having
I love
me.
You so much.
I love you.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Baby number 2.
I know. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to The Village podcast, where we share unique stories from humans of all walks of life, normalizing conversations and experiences in pregnancy, childbirth, postpartum, and motherhood. We are here to serve, and we really want to hear from you. So feel free to share, comment, like, and subscribe to keep this village growing. We are eternally grateful for you being with us and sharing space today.